So what I want to talk about today is an update on what's happening with the Celsius bankruptcy. Unfortunately, they were in the news for something pretty challenging. From what we understand in this article, there was a court order that the judge says is common for any bankruptcy to divulge who the debtors are for any one company. Well, the challenge with that is when you have a list of debtors in a blockchain, there's quite a bit of data richness in the blockchain, and simply just putting out all the data from the blockchain and putting it out in the public domain is basically doxing all of your customer list. So literally, there were 600,000 customers who had their names exposed to the public and exactly how much they had committed to the Celsius financial system and how much they all stand to lose. So as we go through the article, what we find is it was about 29,000 pages of court documents that were put out on the server. At first, people thought that it was possibly a data breach and somebody had, hacked in and got the data and published it, but that was not the case. Unfortunately, the judge specifically ordered that Celsius had to release this data to the public. Now, they reluctantly complied because they have to. They tried hard to redact as much information as they could possibly do in the documentation. So they redacted addresses and phone numbers and that sort of contact information. But really, the damage is done. Once you have the person's name, you can generally track them down from there. So sealing information such as that sought by the debtors for Celsius from public disclosure and transforming the open, transparent bankruptcy process into something very different, which the court is loath to do without a strong showing of real and not speculative risks. So that's what the judge wrote in basically insisting that Celsius release all this information. In other words, this is common to do in any bankruptcy. This is a bankruptcy. Therefore, you shall do it unless you show real and not speculative reasons why these people would be at risk having this information disclosed. Well, the one thing that it really highlights is the fact that there needs to be different rules for the technology industry and what is trying to be accomplished by the technology that operates on blockchain. Blockchain is such a new, innovative, and rich data set that it's difficult to treat those kind of companies the same exact thing the way that you do others. Here's the ramifications of the data that they found in those 29,000 pages. And see, right here you see a list with the person on the top and how much they are probably in debt to Celsius for during their bankruptcy. So we've got the top person at nearly $40.5 million. The next person at nearly $40 million, $26 million, and it goes on. If you click on see more, you can continue down the list, but the list goes down, and you're still seeing dollars in the millions. So it does kind of give you an indication of the gravity of the hole that Celsius has dug for themselves. The fact that shortly before Celsius froze all the accounts, they drew significant amounts of money from Celsius and put it in their own custodial accounts. This money has been tracked and will be brought back, I understand, but it may not be retrievable depending on how the courts are able to get a hold of that money. But you can see that there's incredible amounts of money running definitely in the billions of dollars that are going to be owed to many different people. So That's your update on the Celsius network and what kind of trouble that they are in. That nobody has laid any criminal charges against them. It is a simple bankruptcy at this point. Well, simple as far as bankruptcies go for a large corporation with lots of money at stake. But still, it's progressing, and we'll, I'm sure, hear more as we go forward. Thank you.